If you clicked on this video because you think to yourself, I've been training so hard and for so long, and I don't see a dang flagging piece of evidence, you've come to the right place, because we're going to chat. We are going to chat about why that is today. And welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be going over the top reasons why I think that you are probably hitting a plateau in your training. There are 4 key things that I think so many people, including myself, are doing or have done in the past before that can halt their progress that they may see while they are training in the gym. I think it is so important to discuss this because we are training because we want to see gains and we want to see changes of some sort. And if you're not doing that, we got to change something up. So I'm going over my reasons why I think if you have seen a plateau or if you are seeing no changes in your training progress, in your body, in your physique, in your weight gain, in your weight loss, whatever your goals may be. Feeling aggressive today, apparently. Whatever your goals may be, if you're not seeing changes, I want to get down to the bottom of it. And I'm going to tell you some of the reasons why I think that may be. So let's get into this. My top, and I mean my top reason for why I think that you are seeing a plateau in your training or in your muscle change, in your muscle development, in your weight loss journey, in your weight gain journey, whatever you are on, my top reason for why I think you are not seeing changes is because you are not changing up what you are doing, or you're not increasing the amount of weight that you're doing or the amount of cardio that you are doing. You are doing the exact same thing when you go to the gym or when you work out every single day. If you guys are anything like how I used to be, I would go into the gym 5-6 days a week, and every single day of every single week I would do the exact same thing over and over and over again. I'd pick up the exact same amount of weights. I would do the exact same exercises without fail. And while to a certain extent this is important in becoming stronger and through progressive overload, it can also be pretty detrimental to the amount of progress that you see. And this is why. Progressive overload is super key. So I firmly stand by doing the same key and core exercises on the same key and core days every single day a week, so your body can adapt and you can up your weight and see muscle changes that way. However, you should not be doing the exact same exercise at the exact same weight every single week, because your body adapts to the demands that you put on it. If you are doing a bicep curl and you are doing 20 pounds, eventually in the beginning, it's going to feel pretty friggin' tough. By the time you're doing it 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks down the road, a year down the road, it's not going to feel hard anymore. It is not going to feel tough to lift 20 pounds doing a bicep curl anymore. It's just simply not going to. So if you are doing the exact same thing in the gym, every single day you go in at the exact same weight and you are not challenging yourself in any other different way, if you're not mixing up the exercise that you're doing, if you're not mixing up the weights that you're doing, it is going to be nearly impossible for you to see drastic changes in your growth and in your muscle development, because your body is going to adapt to the demands that you put on it. It's going to be like, okay, I did a bent over row at 20 pounds last week, the week before, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks before. It's not hard anymore. I am not impressed anymore. But if you picked up a 25-pound weight, your body would be like,
oh, whoa. This is tough. This is something we haven't seen before.
And it's going to be harder on it. And that is what we want. This goes for cardio as well. If you are someone who does cardio when you go to the gym, whether it's every day or whether that's your primary focus, the type that you do and how long you do it has to be changed up if you want it to feel harder on you. If you have noticed, if you go into the gym and you do the same cardio equipment for the same length of time, you're probably burning less calories now than you did when you first started. You also probably feel like it's not as hard to do it now than it was when you first started. That's because your body begins to adapt to that workout. Your heart knows how to respond to the exercises and the demands that you're putting on it. So 30 minutes on the Stairmaster might have seemed like literal death when you first started doing it, but now you're like, walk in the park. So you need to either increase your intensity or your resistance on the machine that you're doing, or change up the machines altogether. I firmly believe that you should not be doing the same piece of equipment, whether it's cardio or weightlifting, every single day over and over and over again for an extended period of time. Change out the amount that you're doing it, change out the reps, change out the resistance, change up the weight, making sure that you're doing different things to make your body be like,
whoa, we weren't expecting that.
And have to work that little bit harder. By putting in those extra 5 pounds or upping that resistance on that treadmill by 1, you are going to see a major difference in the amount and demand that it puts on your body. The next thing is that if your primary goal is strength training and muscle growth, you are probably doing too much cardio in the gym. It was a big transition for me when I first started getting really into lifting weights to stop doing as immense amounts of cardio as I was doing when I first started my fitness journey. When I first started my fitness journey, I would do anywhere from 1.5 hours to 2 hours of cardio every single day in the gym without fail, whether I was lifting or not lifting. Once I transitioned into strength training being more of my primary goal, I had to decrease the amount of cardio that I was doing every single day in the gym. I couldn't still do 1.5 hours of cardio in the gym every day and an intense 45-minute lift and still get the progress and the goals that I wanted to. If your main goal is gaining muscle and quote unquote bulking up, you need to stop doing immense amounts of cardio. I 110% agree with those people who are watching me right now who think
cardio is a great way for me mentally to clear my head. I feel so much better after getting a nice hard sweat and doing cardio.
I agree. And I am not saying at all to cut cardio out of your life altogether. I am just saying that you need to be more mindful about the amount that you do it for and at the intensity you do it for. There is nothing wrong with starting off your lift with cardio of some sort, whether that's a 5 to 10 minute walk on an incline treadmill, whether that's a 15-minute session on the Stairmaster. It doesn't matter what particularly you are doing. I just think that if gaining weight and if gaining muscle and lean muscle mass is your goal, doing immense amounts of cardio every single day is not necessarily going to be the way to do it. Especially if gaining weight and gaining muscle is your goal. You don't want to be doing crazy amounts of cardio that is kind of solely focused on burning calories, burning those carbs, burning those fats. Doing cardio is not a bad thing, but you definitely just need to be more mindful about the amount that you're doing it for if your goals are to really become more lean and become more muscle focused and not necessarily about losing weight. If weight loss is your goal, cardio is definitely going to be important to you. You definitely still need to lift weights, but cardio is definitely going to be important to you. But if gaining weight and really defining the muscles that you put onto your body is your goal, then you definitely want to continue doing cardio, but just not immense amounts and not an intense intensity. But that's kind of my biggest thing with that. I'm not saying cut cardio out altogether, but depending on what your goals are, alter and tweak the amount of cardio that you are doing every single day. And sometimes it's not a big deal to skip it altogether. You can hop into the gym and just go right to lifting. Warm that body up first in some way, shape, or form, whether it's a stretch, dynamic stretching, whatever your freaking heart desires. Don't just hop right into a lift. You can warm your body up doing some sort of cardio, but it doesn't have to necessarily be a part of your workout if you don't want it to be. Another reason why you may not be seeing changes and you might be hitting this plateau is because you're not eating enough food or you're not eating the right types of food. I think that one of the biggest changes you have to make when gaining muscle and gaining lean mass becomes your goal is you have to be eating a lot of calories. I know that society puts this immense focus on eating this low calorie, low carb, high fat and protein lifestyle. And while for some people that may be their ideal way to eat and their ideal way to fuel themselves, if your goal is to gain muscle and to really quote unquote tone up and be able to show that lean muscle mass that you're developing, you have to eat calories. You will not be able to get the physique that you are looking for eating 1,200 calories a day, eating 1,500 calories a day. You have to be upping the amount of food that you're eating. You have to be eating 2,000 calories, 2,100 calories. You need to be fueling your body that you are putting through intense workouts. You need to be fueling yourself to be able to handle the work that you are putting onto it. So by not eating enough food, you're actually doing more harm than good. Sometimes if you ever follow a bodybuilder or an influencer that goes through a cut period, they will drop the amount of calories that they are eating, and this is just to show the muscles that they have been developing. So eventually if you go through bulk and cut phases, a bulk phase, you're going to be eating a lot of calories, you're kind of going to feel fluffy, you're going to feel bloated, and then they go through a cut phase where eventually they'll go through a cut, they'll be doing a little bit more cardio, and you'll start to see all of that lean muscle mass that they have been developing. There is nothing wrong with those cycles. I don't necessarily believe in it personally, but there's nothing wrong with it. But for the average person, if you want to be gaining muscles and if you want to be growing that dump truck that I know all of us girls are so interested in growing nowadays, growing that big juicy booty, you have to be eating calories. You cannot and you will not add weight that is going to turn into muscle unless you are eating calories. You cannot be afraid of eating if gaining lean muscle mass is your goal. Eventually, in the beginning, sure, it may look like that, sure, it may look like fluff, but it's not going to look like that forever. It will turn into muscle and muscle mass if you are training heavy and intensely in the gym. By what I mean when I'm saying if you're not eating the right type of food is when I'm telling you to eat a lot of calories. I am not saying to go to McDonald's, grab a Big Mac and a large fries, and that's your calories for the day. That'll easily take you to your 2,100 calories with that and a couple other things throughout the course of the day. I am not saying that at all. When you are focused on gaining weight and gaining lean muscle mass, you need to also be focused on fueling your body with nutrient-dense foods. You need to make sure that your meals have all of your macros hit. So you want to make sure you hit your protein, your carbs, your fats. You want to make sure that you're covered on all of your bases. You want to make sure that all three of those things, carbs, fats, and proteins, are in every single meal that you eat in some way, shape, or form. Even if you are a vegetarian, you need to make sure that you're getting that protein in if you want to be seeing a weight gain and seeing muscle changes in your body. I know that fat loss and weight loss is a big concern for people, and what I can tell you, if you're doing that, your food should really just be focused on making sure you are putting clean food in your body. I am not saying to never go to Chick-fil-A again in your life if your goal is weight loss. I am not saying that at all. However, you need to make sure that you are focused on putting healthy, clean food in your body. Lots of fruits, lots of vegetables. The same thing, you need to be hitting those three macros. Even if you are trying to lose weight, anyone who tells you you need to cut out a food group to lose weight, they're lying to you. Everything in moderation is 1010% okay. You just have to be more mindful about what you're putting into your body and how much of those things you're putting into your body. If weight loss is your goal and you are a grown adult who is still working out in the gym, you can still be eating 1,500 calories to 1,800 calories, or even up to 2,000 calories, depending on the amount of exercise that you are doing and at what intensity you're doing it. You are still able to eat plenty of food as long as you are fueling yourself with the right types of food, those macro dense and nutrient dense meals. As long as you're fueling yourself with that and you are also working out and taking care of your body outside of the gym, you're going to be fine and you will see changes. Losing weight as well as gaining muscle mass is such a combination of what you do in the gym and what you do out of the gym in the kitchen. It is just a combination of those two things. It is just as much important what you put into your body as how much calories you burn. For both of those things, neither one works alone. Hand gestures galore today. Anyway, it is just as much what you do in the gym and outside of the gym that all matters. You can eat anything that you want to eat, whether your goal is gaining weight, losing weight, gaining muscle, whatever your goals may be. You can eat whatever you want to eat. You just have to really be focused on how much and at what intensity you're working out, depending on what your goals are. And last but certainly not least, one of the biggest reasons that people see a plateau or people don't see changes in their body or in their physique is they are just truly not being consistent enough. It is so hard as it is to see changes because our bodies adapt to the demands that we put on it. So like I said in the beginning, if you're doing the same thing 5, 6, 7 days a week, but you're doing the same thing for months and months, you may not see changes. That can already be a struggle for people. But if you are not being consistent with your health and fitness journey, you won't see changes. It's just as simple as that. If you are the type of person who works out really hard for 2 weeks and then doesn't do anything for 2 weeks, or will do something 1 day a week and then kind of not eat great and not eat healthy, if you want to be seeing changes in your muscle growth and you want to gain more muscle, if you want to lose weight, you have to be putting more of a focus onto making this a consistent lifestyle. That's the biggest thing that I can say. You have to make this something that you are focused on day in and day out and really just encompass it into every aspect of your life. You need to make sure that you're sleeping well. You need to make sure that you're eating well. When you're exercising, you need to make sure that you're doing that to the fullest of your ability when you're able to do it and moving your body in ways that best suit you and your goals. It is an entire lifestyle that you have to treat as such. It is not something that you can do for 2 days a week and slack off the other 5 days a week. It's not something that you can do for 3 days and then not even think about it again for another month. If you want to be seeing changes in your physique, in your weight loss, weight gain, muscle gain, whatever your goals may be, you have to be consistent and you have to put time and effort into it. It is not easy. It is easier for some people than it is for others, but overall it is not an easy process. But putting consistent hard work and dedication in is so worth it, because I can promise you, no matter what your goal is, if you consistently work hard at something for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, you are going to see changes. It may take longer for some than it does for others, but you will see changes. You're going to feel better. You're going to be seeing those changes, whether it's weight loss or muscle gain, whatever your goal may be. You will see those differences if you are being consistent with it. This is not something that you can do and then stop altogether and expect there to be differences, or stop altogether for a long time, start back up and expect changes to happen just like that again. It is a consistent effort day in and day out, and that can be tiring. And I am not saying that you can't take rest days. I am not saying that you can't eat junk food. Everything in moderation. Take your rest days, fuel your body, go out and eat that cookie, do whatever you want to do, but put consistent time and effort into something, and I promise you it's going to pay off. Alright guys, that's going to wrap up our video for today. I get so many questions about why I'm hitting a plateau. Why have I been working so hard and I'm not seeing any changes? What's the point? Why am I trying so hard and putting so much time and effort into eating healthy or working out when it doesn't do anything? So I hope that some of the things that I went over in this video are helpful for you. It can be stressful and it can be really hard, but those are just some of the things that could be a reason of why you're not seeing changes and why you feel like you're working hard and it's not doing anything at all. So if you like this video, make sure you go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. It really supports my channel and I appreciate it and you guys. If you haven't already, make sure that you subscribe so you never miss another video that I post, and you can help me get to 4K because we are so close and I can get there, and I know we can with your help. If you haven't already, make sure that you check me out on my Instagram so you can see all the other fitness, health, and lifestyle content that I post on there, and I will catch you guys here next time.